Dear friends, welcome to Code Basics Coding tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to share data between two processes in Python. Now, if you have gone through my multiprocessing introduction tutorial, you have already seen a problem when you try to share a global variable between two processes. I'm going to revisit the same problem here once again. So in this program, I have a list of numbers and I'm creating a new process here, which is just calculating the square of all those numbers, and it is putting the result back into this result global variable. So you can see here, I have a global result and it is referring to this variable, okay? And once I am done with my processing, I am printing the value of that variable inside my process and also outside the process, okay? Now when I run my program, what happens is inside the process values look okay. So I have 235, their square number is 4925, pretty good. But outside the process, when I try to print the same exact variable, I see blank. Now, why is that? So if you remember from our introduction tutorial, whenever you create a new process, the new process will get its own address space. Address space meaning the space where it stores all the variables, etc. So what happens is, as you can see in the diagram, on the left hand side I have a parent process which has a result global variable, but when you create a child process, which is shown on the right hand side, the memory for this global variable will be copied. So now I have a separate copy of result variable. Hence, when you run your calculate square function, it is only updating the copy in the child process. Okay, so this is the problem. Now, how to solve this issue? How to solve this issue of sharing data between two processes? Well, there is a way. The way is to use shared memory. So as you can see in the diagram, when you use shared memory, the memory lives outside the processes. Hence, you can access it and it will print the result for you. So let's use that memory here in our program. Now, there are two ways of using shared memory. One is value, another is array. So in this program, I'm going to use array first, and then I'll show you how to use value. So first, let's create a shared memory variable. Now, shared memory variable is different than your regular variable. So you have to use multiprocessing.array here. Now here, the first thing is you specify your data type. So my data type here is integer, okay? And then you specify your size. So my size is 3 because I have 3 numbers here, so my result is gonna have 3. And then I will pass down this shared memory into my process. Okay, so my process has one more variable called result. So let me remove this global variable because it's anyway not working. Now, shared memory has a different set of methods. So append is not part of the method list, so append is not going to work, okay? So we have to use a simple index. Now to use simple index, what you do is for idx and in enumerate. So when you use this function, you will always get the index and the value both, okay? So here I'm just saying result is equal to n cross n, okay? And I'm removing this here. After that, I'm just printing the result here. All right, let's run this. Okay, here it's not printing it. Okay, so we have to use a different method. So we'll just say, okay, so here I'm going to say result like this. This is a way to print all the elements in an array, okay? Excellent. So now you can see that we are printing it outside the process and it still printed the result fine. So you can use array this way to share data between two processes. So it solved our problem. Now these two processes can exchange data using this shared memory variable called result. Okay. All right, let's go over value now. So for value, so value is similar to array, but it's just a single value. Okay, so you can create value like this. I'm going to create a double variable on shared memory and assign a value 0.0. And when I pass this to my child process here, I'm going to receive it as an argument in this function, and here I will say value.value. Now maybe we can just change this variable name to be v. I'm going to just assign some arbitrary value. Okay, and here you can print that value, v dot value. So as you can see that in our parent process, we are creating a value variable on shared memory. We are passing that to a different process here, which is setting the value, and then back to our parent process, it is printing the value here. Now when you run this, see, it's working. Basically the child process is updating the value, and still the parent process is able to access the same value. Okay, so this was all about values and array. There are in fact other ways of sharing data, which is queue and pipe, but we will cover those in the future tutorials. Okay, thank you for watching.